Hey guys, Glenn here from jazzpianolessons.online. Great to be with you again. And today we're talking about playing what you hear. And I guess this lesson, in some ways, it may not be so much of a teaching lesson of on the piano, but a bit more of a bit of a chat and helping you progress as a musician. And so, hey guys, if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and then you'll get updated on our latest tutorial videos. All right, so we're talking about playing what you hear. So, I mean, we have talked a lot about the mechanics of jazz so far. So we've talked about, let me just go to down here. We've talked a lot about, we've talked about voicings, how you can use different voicings. That's an axis of a third, or we've got an open voicing here, same chord. We've talked about how to use guide tones to improvise, how to use guide tones to make great sounding 3-note voices, and there's voicing chords and all sorts of things, talking a little bit about modes and all that kind of stuff. And all that stuff's great, but there is a limit to that, right? And so the knowledge is brilliant when we're talking about playing piano, jazz piano particularly, but also we need to just let all of that go at some point in time and just try and play what we hear. Now, obviously, there's some limitations there depending on how good your ear is and what your musical upbringing has been. This is actually this is the toughest thing for me, is playing by ear. That's one of the things that I've had to work the hardest at, probably because my earliest music teachers didn't help me with being able to play by ear with the oral skills and all that kind of stuff. And so I've found that the hardest. Now, in some ways, that's made me a good teacher in this area, because I've had to kind of really analyze how I hear in order to be able to do it myself. It doesn't come naturally to me. However, my rhythm, for example, comes really natural to me. All right, so when we're talking about playing what you hear, I guess it's a bit of the idea is in some ways that you have a bit of an idea what you need to play. And so let's say we're playing Autumn Leaves. All right. Now I know that, the melody, I've learnt the melody. Now when I'm improvising, I'm going to try and help you get into my mind as I'm doing this, to help you improvise a little bit better. I am trying to literally play what I hear. Now what I am doing is going, okay, if that's the, and so I will sometimes try, sing the notes, da do da do do da, da ba do da da do da. So I find that helpful if I sing to do the phrasing, like it helps with the phrasing, but also to get the actual pitches. Now, one thing that's really helpful with having a whole bunch of knowledge is, though, if you're playing a C minor chord, the Dorian mode is probably the first point of call to think about when we're playing a minor chord. All right, there's the C Dorian. It's the B flat major scale. It's the second mode of the B flat major scale. Or you can think of it as flattened 3 and a flattened 7th from the C major scale, right? Now, if you're hearing something and you think it's one of those notes of the scale that that works, go for it. Now, if you're hearing something that you think is not a note, like let's say you think you're hearing an F sharp, that's when you want to go, okay, Am I hearing correctly? Right, it's a bit of a check. Now, if you think it's still an F sharp, hey, go for it. You're only one semitone. You're only a half step away from playing the right note, probably anyway in jazz. So as long as you kind of fall off it somewhere, it'll be okay, right? But you might, maybe that's the note you want to hear. Now, the point is here, that doesn't belong to the scale that I'm thinking about, but the note works, right? So the idea is that you don't want to be limited to your theory knowledge. You don't want to be limited to, hey, this has got to be this or it's got to be that. Hey, play what you hear. And that is another level of musicianship, when you can play what you hear, not just play what you know. Hopefully the two of those things are working together. Now, how do you get better at playing by ear? Well, there's a couple of things you can do. You can start to get better at your singing. Now, it doesn't mean your voice has to be have a great voice, but you can get better at finding the pitches and doing that. That's something that's helpful to do. Da didn't do da. Okay, there it is. You know, you can kind of sing and then try and play. That's one thing you can do. Another thing you can do is to transcribe, and that's a great way of not only getting your ears better, but also it will help you to get some great ideas as well. Okay, so transcribing is writing down. And I guess you don't necessarily have to write it down, but at least work out what somebody else has done and start off with something simple. YouTube's great to be able to slow down. I don't know if you know you can slow down the video as well if the song is pretty quick. You know, if you're trying to work out something and it sounds like that, you know, you might want to slow it down so you can. You know, I can't remember what it was that I played now, but so that might be helpful for you to do that. They'll give you some, and transcribe things that you want to play as well, because once you've done it, then it's a useful thing for you. It's not just an ear exercise, but it's an ear exercise plus it can become part of your musical vocabulary. So that's really useful as well. You can do some interval training where you will try and work out what the different intervals are, and you can kind of work out from that what it is, or you can kind of da 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 da. You can kind of sort of da 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 da. Do that kind of thing, but basically all of those things put together will really help you. Trying to sing harmonies will also help you with developing your ear as well. All right, I hope that's helpful for you guys. If there's something that you use that helps you with your oral skills, and there's something, ways that you can help others with playing by ear, please chuck it down in the comments below, and that would be really helpful. And maybe we'll do another video on some of that stuff at another time soon. All right, if you like the videos, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and share it with your friends. All right, all the best. We'll catch you soon.